Powered by the Montana Television Network. This is the 10 o'clock news on Q2, Montana's news leader.
Good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Jeanelle Slade. Just 8 days later and a few miles apart, another Montana hunter is lucky to be alive. This after a third grizzly bear attack sends a man to the hospital. Tonight, that bear still roaming the gravelly mountains. MTN's Cody Boyer, following all three attacks tonight, tells us how this latest hunter survived.
They have nothing to lose to come chew on us. They can kill you.
A similar setup to a similar terrifying situation.
This hunter was walking through some downed timber when he was attacked by a bear at a very close range.
Like in last week's attacks, the hunter was prepared.
During the attack, he shot at the bear several times with a pistol. The bear subsequently left.
Morgan Jacobson with FWP says this all happened 8 miles south of Cottonwood Creek, where last Monday, 3 hunters were injured in 2 different attacks, only 11 hours apart.
Wardens and law enforcement personnel with the U.S. Forest Service were able to respond fairly quickly to yesterday's incident because they were still in the gravelly mountains.
Jacobson adds it is still unclear if this was the same bear or more.
Bears are moving into what we call hyperphagia, which is a period of time when bears are more active on the landscape. They're consuming more calories in preparation for hibernation.
The hunter was treated in Sheridan and released, but the series of attacks has outfitters like Roundhouse Sports Center in Bozeman talking.
The mawings that we're seeing aren't where the bears are eating on them. It's just a quick fight or flight response.
The staff here at Roundhouse say having a good, strong, reliable backpack out there with you can also go a long way in protecting you in more ways than one. That way you can actually have your bear spray right here on your chest, easily accessible, so if you're forced into a ball to protect yourself, you can activate the bear spray and spray it right over your shoulder.
Roundhouse manager Ryan Merkel adds that traveling in groups is still the way to go.
Always have a backup plan.
And with Montana being Montana, Jacobson says these 4 hunters are very lucky.
Encounters like this are unfortunate. It is the reality in living in bear country.
In Bozeman, Cody Boyer, MTN News.
And Cody says the search for bears connected to these cases will now start again. Well, our first shot of winter weather is on Montana's doorstep, and it looks like the mountain snowfall could hit central Montana with 1 to 3 feet of snow. The Storm Tracker weather team has a few reminders as we expect our first freeze this weekend. The cold and wet will put stress on livestock and could affect crops that are still in the fields. Hunters and hikers could run into dangerous conditions in the mountains, and we are expecting winter driving conditions for the first time this season. People traveling north and west of Billings this weekend can expect to hit snow-covered and icy roads. We'll turn to Q2 Chief Forecaster Bob McGuire. Bob, one more good day and then things go south.
Yeah, and I'm afraid it's going to be kind of a breezy day tomorrow, especially because it's kind of like the winds of change are blowing in the big weather change. Let me show you what we have. Tomorrow morning at 3 a.m., we're looking at 80-mile-per-hour winds up there in the Rocky Mountain front, like Cutbank on Don Noshoto. Once you get out onto the plains, like near Lewistown, it's like 60 to 65-mile-per-hour winds, but still, that's pretty doggone breezy. Now, take a look at this. Here's your winter storm watch. That goes into effect on Friday, goes through Sunday. 18 to 36 inches of snow up towards the north. Down by Butte, it's more like 16 to 25 inches of snow the same period. Meanwhile, look at this. Over there by Flathead Lake, we have a high wind watch there for winds gusting to 40 miles per hour beginning on Friday as well. How much snow are we talking about? Well, according to the computer models, they're saying like 2 to 4 feet of snow by Cutbank through Monday, 2:30 a.m. But then watch what happens the rest of Monday. We get up to 2 to 4 feet through Great Falls, into Helena, and even Billings, which will have just a light dusting through the weekend. Monday, we could get maybe up to 2 to possibly as much as 4 inches of snow. We'll see. Those are the best numbers we have right now, but we'll continue to see these numbers get updated the closer we get to the period. But right now, you just need to know that it's going to be a big, major snow event. Back to you, Jeanelle.
All right, thanks, Bob. Well, late summer snowstorms have snuck up on Montana and Wyoming, closing the Beartooth Highway for the year. Currently, you can still drive from Red Lodge all the way up to the state line, but that's it. And that's it for the rest of the season. Now, snow drifts on the road are already several feet deep, and cold temperatures mean that not much melting will be happening. Snow can cause closures of the road at any time of the year, but historically, the iconic highway closes around the second weekend of October. Now to the national political scene, U.S. lawmakers have read what's in a whistleblower's complaint that includes a call between President Trump and Ukraine's leader. Nicole Killian has more on the call that spurred a House impeachment inquiry into the president.
Members of the House and Senate Intelligence Committees reviewed the whistleblower complaint that includes a phone call between President Trump and Ukraine's leader. That call is central to the House impeachment inquiry.
I found the allegations deeply disturbing. I also found them very credible.
Earlier Wednesday, the White House released a summary of the July 25th conversation between President Trump and President Volodymyr Zelensky. It suggests the president repeatedly prodded Zelensky to work with Attorney General William Barr and the president's personal lawyer, Rudy Giuliani, to investigate Joe Biden and his son. Hunter Biden was on the board of a Ukrainian oil company.
It's all a hoax, folks. It's all a big hoax.
President Trump and Zelensky met face-to-face for the first time Wednesday at the United Nations.
It's better to be on TV than by phone.
Yeah.
I think.
They spoke about the call.
Nobody pushed me. Yes.
In other words, no pressure.
Days before their conversation, the president ordered aides to freeze about $400 million in funding to Ukraine, a topic that wasn't raised according to the call summary. But Democrats argue it was a bargaining chip.
This is about abuse of power by an overreaching executive.
Some Republicans say it won't hurt the president.
He did nothing wrong under the law or otherwise.
Lawmakers are set to grill the acting director of national intelligence, Joseph Maguire, about the whistleblower's complaint when he testifies before the House Intelligence Committee on Thursday. Nicole Killian, CBS News, the White House.
Former Vice President Joe Biden said the summary was revealing and later tweeted that Congress must hold President Trump accountable. The Missoula County Sheriff's Office appeared on the first episode of A&E's Live PD last week, and that has Western Montana buzzing. Under Sheriff Rich Marcelli says the department has received both positive and negative comments, about 10 good to every 1 bad. The Sheriff's Office did extensive research leading up to the show and says it can leave at any time if the majority of the community doesn't like it. Now, the hope is that TV exposure helps to better recruit and retain deputies. Another major reason is to showcase cases that still need public help.
The Jermaine Charlo, the missing and indigenous person report, I mean, we've already received tips on that we didn't have before. So that in and of itself has made this a huge success. It's been tremendous for the family, and we've had feedback from them as well that this is, they're very appreciative and grateful that we've had this opportunity to showcase their family's situation and hopefully get some kind of a resolution or at least some answers on this case.
Now, the Sheriff's Office is proud of how its deputies operate and hope to showcase more positive stories about their community interactions. Well, tragedy in Butte. A 5-month-old baby girl found dead in a car, her mom sleeping on top of her. There's a lot of unanswered questions at this hour, but this we do know. Police are questioning the 30-year-old Butte mother, and as of tonight, no charges have been filed. Police noticed the parked car shortly before 9 a.m., just a block from the Butte police station. The engine was running and the doors were locked. As police approached the vehicle, they say they saw the woman sleeping on top of her baby. They broke the window to rescue the infant, but it was too late. Authorities also found the woman's toddler in the back seat. He was okay, but tonight is in protective care. Well, protecting Montana's children. 20 years ago, the story of an abandoned baby in Missoula would forever impact children across the state. In 1999, tiny cries from inside a dumpster revealed a newborn girl in a plastic bag. That bag wrapped in blankets, the baby left to die. Baby Grace was rescued and later adopted and is now a happy, healthy 20-year-old woman. Now, her story spurred state lawmakers back then to pass Montana's first Safe Haven Newborn Protection Act. That act allows birth parents to surrender their newborns without legal consequences at any emergency services provider, such as a police station, fire station, or hospital. Governor Judy Martz signed that act into law in 2001.
There was a need for immediate action. So I had done most of my legal career in child abuse and neglect. I had represented children in a lot of different situations, so I knew the law very well. So I submitted a bill draft, immediately to be able to figure out if we could find a way, to protect babies like this. And Sure enough, as we checked with other states, there were 12 other states that had laws similar to this. So what we did is take the best provisions of each one of those laws and build them into Montana's law. So that was the bill that was submitted. So I knew that this was a life or death situation, and everybody else realized that. So we knew we had to get some legislation done immediately because it was going to happen again.
Halligan says it's important for people to know this law exists and how it provides options for both parents and babies. He says it passed with unanimous bipartisan support. Well, earlier this year, the state legislature authorized a statue of former Governor Judy Martz to be placed on the Capitol grounds in Helena. Well, now supporters have launched a private fundraising effort to pay for that. Martz, a Republican from Butte, was Montana's first female governor, serving one term from 2001 through 2005. Now, supporters aim to raise $165,000 in 4 years to pay for a full-size statue of the former governor. The hope is to place it indoors on the second floor where the governor's office sits. Martz passed away in 2017 from pancreatic cancer. You can visit your website at ktvq.com for more information if you'd like to donate. Well, coming up in tonight's 10 o'clock news, trade doors opening to a multi-billion-dollar future between the U.S. and Japan. We'll look at the impact. Plus, bird is the word of this conservation effort. We'll show you how it's taking flight. And tonight in sports, Scott hears from your Cats and Grizz with conference football openers 3 days away.
You're watching MTN News with Jeanelle Slade and Russ Riesinger. Storm Tracker weather with Bob McGuire. And sports with Scott Breen. This is the 10 o'clock news on Q2, Montana's news leader.